And I decided to own my data. So I went completely off grid from products that they were using my data somehow in AI. I changed my MacBook for a Linux. I changed my iPhone for like a Fairphone. I built my own server on top of my fridge, and I was like running like Nextcloud, and I was encrypting my data before storing in my own Nextcloud, and I have like my own instance of Mastodon, and I went completely down this rabbit hole. And like I was even like compiling every piece of software that I was using. So I went completely out. And there was a moment that my friends, they came to me and they were like, Matias, are you okay? And it was like, yeah, of course I'm okay. Why? It's like, yeah, you look a bit paranoid. I was like, no, me paranoid. Like it's totally normal that everyone should be using open source software and like plastering the walls with aluminum paper, like, uh, and then this like I don't want to call it fear, but like concern in privacy start growing into like interest. And I wanted to understand a bit what's going on in AI. And I found a few things. The first one is this artificial intelligence. They're not very intelligent. Uh, the second one is that they will not take over the world or they will not control my mind. And they're actually pretty cool. And I started using AI in everything, like for writing code, for like replying to messages, for everything. Like my productivity grew a lot. Like started writing a lot of code with Copilot. It was still bad code, but at least a lot. And I got very interested into this. But like, for example, I read this last week. From Andrew Ng. He says, like, these days I find myself using an LLM running on my laptop, which runs fairly quick and guarantees privacy if my data stays in my machine. And it was like, wait, this is the guy that knows the most about AI in the world, right? Like, or one of the ones. I learned everything from him and from my professors and DSR, of course. And um, so if this guy is concerned about privacy, I think we should, like mere mortals, we should also be concerned about it. And um, now everyone is using OpenAI, ChatGPT 4, it works amazing and so on. But it has some problems. It's expensive. It's a huge, I mean, like you cannot apply it if you have an app that has billions of users. You cannot just give them access to OpenAI because you will consume it a lot of tokens. It's a huge dependency. This company almost disappeared a few days ago. And if your company depends on them, it's like a problem. And also it's like a lack of privacy. The only thing that they have open is the name. Um, and yeah, so yeah, and also that guy in the blue shirt looks scary. So I started thinking like, okay, what can be an alternative to this? And probably you saw there's a lot of like open source LLMs, and my project is about that. It's cost effective. It's actually free, or the only cost that it has is the battery of your phone. The second one is secure because it runs literally inside your hand, and like as a normal user, it might not be super crazy, but like the moment that I got an LLM running inside my phone, that everything was computing inside my hand, it was like, wow, this is crazy. And then I will come up like later why this LLM that I ran was not super performant, but uh, what I wanted to do is everyone is like trying to add or fine tune LLMs. And I was like, okay, in my phone, I already have a lot of different data, like all these apps that I use, they have a local database where data that is not available in servers because it's either encrypted or it's private and you don't want to share it and so on. But actually, I have it in my phone. And if the LLM is actually computed in my hand, I don't mind sharing that data with this LLM. So I created like a reticular augmented generation tool. And customers is any company that builds apps. They can integrate my tool and connect it to the existing database, and they can add LLM functionalities into their app for free. So how this these are some examples. Now let's say WhatsApp uses my tool. I don't know. Maybe they could add a functionality, say, hey, automatically reply with my style of writing. because they have access to all the messages, they could copy your style of writing and reply automatically. Or Garmin, this like sport tracking app, I can ask a question and say, hey, how many times did I go running last year? And because the phone contains all my data, my health data, it will be possible to reply this question. Or also some like offline LLM could help for this. Like I got bitten by a snake. I'm in the middle of the jungle. What do I do? No? I cannot Google it because I don't have internet. Or for example, a noted app is actually the demo is similar to this. I can say, hey, write a blog post based on my notes from DSR. And because my notes are private, I encrypted before saving it somewhere, they're only available inside my phone. Now, how I build this? The first thing I try to do is I try to run Llama inside the phone. There's this project, it's like Llama CVP, that allows to compile for the architecture of iPhones. And I managed to run it. And I send the prompt and I wait and nothing really happens. And then the phone started getting hot and yeah, it just crashed. And was like, oh, maybe I make like an app that warms up my hands in this cold weather, you know. The problem with Llama is that uses self-attention that is quadratic. So compares each token to each other token. So yeah, in a phone that you have like limited resources, you cannot run quadratic things. So then I found this, there's a paper called Linear Attention that they basically try to bring back RNNs, and they found like a kind of a tricky way to parallelize, so it can be trained in a lot of parameters, similar to how the LLMs and Llama or ChatGPT are working. And the cool thing is that because it just has a state, it compares only the inference time. It only compares to the past as one state. So it's linear. Fantastic. It doesn't work. It's not so amazing like Llama or other transformers or classic transformers architecture, but it works. However, yesterday night I found some people on Discord that they managed to like quantize Llama and actually run it in the latest iPhone. So probably I will change a bit my project in the next days and actually run Llama because it's a bit better than this LLM. Cool. A bit of like this is how the flow of information when you send a message on WhatsApp. The first thing that happens is like the user writes a message, it gets stored in the local database. It's like just a SQLite database. And then this message encrypted gets sent to Facebook servers. And because it's encrypted, they cannot access what is, or at least they tell us that. And then the only thing they do is they deliver the message to the user B. The message gets decrypted in their database, and then they can read the message, right? So what I did is I added 2 layers on this. One is a vector database that actually I wrote it myself, and I didn't know anything about vector database, and you can definitely see in the code that I didn't know anything about database, but it works. It works somehow. It works. And then the LLM. So let's say that the user B asks a question to the LLM. The LLM will do a cuisine search. It will try to find all the messages that are similar or relevant to your prompt, and it will augment the information. So it will pass the LLM like a bigger prompt that contains all the messages that are relevant, and it will reply in natural language. So for example, I could ask, "What's up?" Like when I had the presentation today, and it could search in my messages and then reply in natural language that. So yeah, I have a demo. I have a video as like a backup because probably will not work what I will show, but I will try at least. Let's see if it works. So still the app. Cool. So yeah, this is a simulator of the latest iPhone. What I did is let's go here. Let's pick a model. Let's load the model on memory. It didn't crash. Amazing. Cool. And then I built like a very small notes app basically to input some data that is like custom. So I would just write the nodes. Wait. Oh, so I just like stored in the local database of this app some custom data, like the name of my dog, and then I can go to the chat and wait. Cool. I don't know if this is going to work because I was playing with the LLM a little bit, and also I put the temperature very up to see if it like outputs something funny. So, but I have a video that it works in case this doesn't work. So let's see. The future of this project is I'll probably try to run Llama and make it very easy for developers to integrate this tool and uh, all the existing mobile or all the existing data that they already the apps they have to make it very easy to sync it and add LLM functionalities. Yeah, that's my project.